homies, I am pissed. I know there was an extra day between uploads where I just kind of disappeared for a minute. I know you might have been thinking, like, what the hell, man? What happened to the schedule? And I can tell you what, I did go to the gym. I did. I'm out of town. I'm going on vacation for the birthday stuff with my girlfriend, having fun in Charleston, doing my thing. Really a lot of fun. It's been a great break away from the normal schedule with life and all that. And as a wonderful of a girlfriend as she is, she was like, I know we're on vacation and we're having fun. And a lot of people would expect us to be doing stuff every second of the day. But you know what? I know you love the gym. If you want to go work out, go work out. I'll find something to do. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta marry this woman. Shit. That hugs my heart when I hear something like that. Oh my, just when she tells me, just like, yeah, just go do what you want. Just go work out, you know? We don't need to be doing some crazy stuff every day, even though we're out of town. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. And luckily, there's a Crunch 5 minutes away from the hotel. And I'm like, great. Couldn't have a better setup if I tried. I can just go straight there, 5-minute drive, just enjoy myself. And I don't even have to deviate from the normal schedule. This is yesterday, by the way. I get there, and it actually says Crunch coming soon. And I'm like, oh, shit, of course there's something. But they're actually open. And I'm like, oh, I guess we're all good. You know, I didn't bring my pre-workout from home, so I got me some of the Favage pre-workout from C-Bum, because that hits pretty good when I need a little extra kick. And I'm like, it's a Crunch. I don't got to worry about nothing. Every Crunch has bumper weights. Every Crunch has platforms. Awesome. So apparently, the reason this Crunch was originally, quote-unquote, coming soon was because it was originally a Hammer Time gym. Those gyms suck ass. Let me tell you. Suck ass. Not happy with that. And again, whatever. It wouldn't be an issue unless the Crunch management were cheap as hell and decided, let's just keep the same equipment and not replace anything. That gets on my nerves. Let me tell you what. If something's going to get on my nerves, that is something that gets on my nerves. That is so frustrating because their bumper plates, they're okay. They're good enough, and they at least had one set. The only squat racks they had were the boxed-in squat racks, but they did have one deadlift platform. I'm like, okay, I can make do. You know what? The stars aren't aligning, but you know what? We have the equipment to do it. So let's try it out. And oh boy. Turns out, in a gym with Olympic platforms and Olympic bumper weights, not a single Olympic barbell. Only squat barbells. Not one. And some of the barbells do spin. Yeah, just barely. They're rusted to shit, but I can make do with that too. I have baby hands, you guys. I have baby hands. I can't barely grip the normal bar. So when it's slightly thicker, no, I cannot do it. It's ridiculous. And the hardest thing about it is that they're barely spinning and the bar's too thick. But on a squat barbell, the little rings on the side of each side of the barbell that show you where your hands are supposed to go, they only have one ring on squat bars, while Olympic barbells have two. So now, not only do I have a barbell that doesn't spin and is too big for my little baby hands, but I also don't know where my hands are supposed to go. And I know that it makes me sound inexperienced, but damn it, I need those rings. I was messing around with the barbell for a while. Honestly, I don't know if I will or not, but I might just, for shits and giggles, throw in the recordings from yesterday at the beginning, because I only really got a couple of the warm-ups and two warm-up weights on the way. And I couldn't do it because, like, I could feel my shoulders starting to stiff up. It was hurting my joints because I couldn't lock out properly. I was pulling in a way that felt bad. I think my hands were either too narrow or too wide half the time because I didn't know where my hands were supposed to go. And so I didn't want to risk getting injured, you know? And it's okay. If you got to throw in the towel some days, throw in the towel. It's not a huge deal. Protect your body first at all costs. It is not worth getting injured just because you want to stay on the normal cycle. And again, I still got a good sweat in. There's nothing to it. I still got a good sweat in, and that's what matters. That right there. Now, on to part 2. Because I was like, let's just go home. We'll come back tomorrow. There's another crunch 20 minutes away. It's a drive, and that's unfortunate, but the stars are still there. We can still make the stars align in a day where it feels like the world's against you. And I call first. I'm like, do you guys got the stuff? And they do. I'm like, great. I can at least, I barely did any weight with the shitty barbells, so I can at least still stay on the normal program and get back to the heavy stuff, have a little fun. I was supposed to do like a 255 double on snatch. Never done that before. Real excited to PR. So I get to this gym, and of course, you know me, I'm gonna do better. Does that mean we're gonna have a good day? Absolutely not. Oh shit. So warm-ups are going good. The barbells are back. They have the rubber plates. They got the good platforms. I'm about it. I'm doing the things that I love to do. And I get to 185. And if you do Olympic lifting or deadlifting, for that matter, everybody knows the importance of the platforms being symmetrical, being flat, being level, so that you can roll the bar into your shins and not have them trying to pull away from you while you need your body fully set up at the most exact compressed position. Your starting position is so important when it comes to any lift from the ground, especially Olympic lifting. And when I'm sitting there and I'm getting ready to pull a heavy weight and the bar is literally rolling away from me in my starting position because there's so many dents under this platform that the barbell can't sit still on any part of the platform. I tried. I switched platforms. I moved the barbell to the farthest front. I moved to the farthest back. I went everywhere. It didn't make a difference. The only way I probably could have done anything remotely okay is to do it from the ground, which they don't allow. So I was like, you know what? I think it's good enough. On the 185, it didn't feel great because let me tell you what, I had to really pull the barbell into my body because it was trying to get away from me, and it made it feel like I was pulling with a lot more low back than I wanted to, because when the barbell starts getting out in front of you, your back, my upper back and shoulders can't align with the barbell properly. It is very, very unfortunate because you just quite literally will have to lift with inefficient form with the barbell either. Because, by the way, it's not just rolling away from me, it's also rolling into me, trying to make my feet fall back. You'll see me reposition myself like 4 times because the bar will just be pushing against my shin so fucking much that I can't sit straight, So I get to 205. I'm like, let's just try our best. Expectations are now out the window. Let's just at least try our best, see what's there. I failed 205 the first go, not because it's not, oh my God, it's so frustrating. Not because it's not too heavy, or not because it's too heavy, but because I literally could not line up the barbell exactly where I needed it to be because it kept trying to roll away from me, that I just committed and it wouldn't go. And even on the one that I got, it still felt really bad. And this extra little strain on my low back starting to pick up, starting to add on top of itself. And I'm like, shit, that is not cash money. Put on 2 plates. I'm like, you know what? There's still a chance. You never know. I've had a bad warm-up and then came back and crushed it. Let's just see what we got. Because at least at the bare minimum, you have to try. If you are not physically injured and you feel physically okay to keep going, you have to give yourself the attempt. And yeah, I got it. But did it feel good? No. Felt bad. Felt really, really bad. You'll see it. There's a bit of hesitation on the catch where my feet land when my butt's at about 90 degrees, and then the push into ass to grass just does not look great. You can tell there's definitely some extra straining going on, and it's not, I should be smoothly progressing into acid grass, not catching 90 and then pushing into it. And that just, that really rubs me the wrong way. Let me tell you what. But I got it. And I'm like, okay, well, I caught it. Physically okay. Not confident, but I'm at least going to attempt to confirm that I am where I believe I am physically. Because you don't know unless you try. And no, 245 absolutely sucked ass. Like the platforms. There's just no way. Like, with the bar rolling away from me and me having to put so much strain on my low back, there was just no chance. Not a single morsel of my body was like, because you could see, like, I pulled it high enough to catch it, but the bar is out in front of me, so I can't push the barbell behind my head. And I mean, yeah, sure, if I was super physically apt that day, maybe I could have got it, but I was supposed to go to 255. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do if I can't even throw 245? And no, it's not a matter of strength. I know this for a fact. I know it for a fact. I tripled 235 last week off of just jumping straight back into the program with no rest, which, getting into it, is part of the biggest issue that I have right now. Because I could sit here all day and give you all the excuses I want. One gym didn't have the right barbell. One gym didn't have the right platform. Couldn't lock in the way I normally do. What could I have done differently? And the truth of it is, regardless of all the inefficiencies, I don't care if I still tried to train better and then failed either way, but there is definitely a way that I could have gotten into this that would have made me better prepared for the entirety of the program. And I tell you guys all the time, I think one of the most important mindsets you can have when it comes to training with a progressive overload program is making it to where that first cycle back on is a cycle where that last heaviest week before you even start the program is set at weights you absolutely are confident and sure of that you can crush without a doubt in your mind. And that wasn't what I did. Just being completely honest with myself. I don't want to sit here and lie and just say, like, oh, it's the gym's fault. When to a point, sure, it'd be nice if they got better platforms, but I've worked out in worse conditions. You know, it's not like it's the end of the world when you don't have the exact equipment that you typically want to have. Sometimes it's more so a matter of you just didn't prepare hard enough. And my core has not been primed for this cycle. My technique has been suffering, especially on the recovery days, because I didn't prime my body well enough. And when my knee started recovering again, after doing so much time off and being out of town, you just get so excited to do better. You know, it can take over logic sometimes. You know, irrationality can always stem from fear, and most time does. But people oftentimes forget that those same irrational behaviors that make your program inefficient or rushed when you could have gone at a different pace to make it better for your body's current capabilities can also stem from excitement, you know? And overexcitement can get you. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but you gotta, to an extent, temper yourself. You want to have that maximum excitement, absolutely. But that level of hype doesn't exactly give you an excuse to just throw whatever you want, you know? Like, look at yourself. Tell yourself, is it really worth spending a month going harder than I've ever had to go before to hit weights that I could probably crush if I just gave myself a week of deload and conditioning? You know, just for me to be able to add better weight at a more efficient rate after this first program as well. You know, it's not just taking it easy for a month. It's setting yourself up for months of success in a row. The whole idea of a good program is to make it to where you can increase your strength and your weights and your conditioning and your core confidence, your joint strength, your conditioning, whatever you want to say. Everything about weightlifting should at least have a morsel, even the smallest bit of progression every cycle, if you can. That doesn't mean you have to lift a new weight every time, but it should still feel like you've made progress. And that's not where I'm at right now. You know, I failed my bench this past week. That doesn't happen to me much. It's kind of ridiculous that I let it get to that point because I was primed for it before I left town. And I knew just jumping back into it would overstrain it, you know? So anyway, my biggest point is that regardless of everything that got in my way, it's what was meant to happen in order to give me the clearest headspace to move forward in the best direction possible. You know, these unfortunate obstacles that came in my way, especially on a time where I'm on vacation trying to just live it up and enjoy myself, and honestly I was wanting to just live however I wanted to, it's going to set me up for success when I reevaluate what I should be doing for the sake of my best physical health on top of the mental that comes with it. So I'm gonna definitely, when I get back, I still have today and tomorrow before I come back to town, and then I'll get back to weightlifting on the 7th, which will you guys will see that video on the 8th, and that's when I'll start the deload week back, because I truthfully, I really did jump into this program too quickly, especially for my knee just recovering. That's just, even though I hit most of the weights and they did go really well, like the 285 for 3 on clean and jerk wasn't perfect technique wise, but it still felt really good. It wasn't that hard, and front squats have never been better, and my snatches went, my back squat went, but the common denominator is that my technique and core confidence and the driving through the sticking point is not there on any of them. You know, the explosiveness that I typically have is not there, you know? And like today, I didn't even get to go hard on the back squat because I had the idea of like, okay, I messed up, so let's do snatch and back squat today, clean and jerk and bench press tomorrow, and then we'll get back on the program when we get back to town. And the strain on my low back was so bad that it was just, I couldn't squat the way I could with that full explosion at the bottom. And it's not worth pushing past that. So physically, yeah, I'm going to give it like a 6.8 because it just wasn't there, honestly. I know that an attempt at 245 is still impressive to the majority of people, but for the way that my training's gone and the way that I've prepared myself, it was pathetic, you know? And that's okay. That's going to be what makes it better next time. I want to feel this form of suffering so that I want to come back and do more and do it better, you know? Mentally, all in all, it sucks that it happened, but, you know, it's great that I get to reevaluate everything I'm working on and bring it back in the best way possible, you know? I know what's best for myself, and I should commit to that, and I need to give myself the availability to really condition my body so that I can jump back into the normal program and not even have to think about how heavy the weights are until that second cycle back on. So I'm still excited. I just got to be patient, you know? The more patient I am in the beginning, the more longevity I'll have in the sport when it comes to the strength. So mentally, I'll still give it like a solid 7.45. You know, it's not crazy or anything, but I'm just chilled out now, you know? I don't want there to be this huge expectation upon myself that I have to lift it any certain way. You know, it's up to me every time. So I don't want it to become obligational when I'm just wanting to be passionate about what I'm doing and not worry about anything else, you know? Anywho, so you won't see me for about 2 days, maybe 3 days. I'm not sure I think it's the 5th, so you'll see me in 2 days, and we'll just start out slow, you know, do a fun deload complex week where I focus on complexes or accessory work to recondition the weights the best way possible. Then we build strength from there, you know, really just take my time, enjoy the fun stuff, and then earn the heavy stuff, especially the earning part, you know. All right. Well, let me know how this lives and listening going as well. I love hearing about it. You know that. And we're still going to be back to it. Don't worry. Don't stress. The weights will come. And when they come quick, I'm going to be a happy, happy boy. Because, shit, the next cycle, I'm still programmed to go to 275 on snatch for the first time. That's amazing. You know? And clean and jerk, I've never gone to 325 before. So that'll be something really great to attempt at the very least. So I'll be back. Wish me luck. And I appreciate y'all hanging out. Love you. See you later.